inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. Now, he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. It was just 3rd down and short, but he bit off a little extra.
I would say way more than he could chew, but he chewed up all that yardage in a big way. And that, to me, that was a combination of offensive line, stacked defense, and they handled it. Okay, they got the leverage, they got the blocking angles, and opened up a nice crease. And once you get past that first wave, there's room to roam.
Yeah, that's just the 3rd play from scrimmage. They wanted to avoid that 3 and out. They did. Here's Madison running on 1st down. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he will have a Vikings 1st down, and comfortably so as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of 1st downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it with Madison. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 20-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Yeah, he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. On 3rd down, they run with Madison. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try to run for it. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Right back to him on 1st down. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
They'll run with Madison. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Working out of the gun, Cousins. This Cowboy defense looked ready for that 3rd down pass. Brings up 4th.
But they took the shot, didn't get it, and there's definitely a difference here because they had a chance to get 7, maybe 8 if they pushed it. Instead, they'll likely settle for 3.
Yeah, opening drive, holding him to 3, psychologically maybe a win for the defense. And this is no good. Close, but he misses just left of the upright. And this will remain a scoreless game. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. On the option, here's Elliott. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And this is going to be a Cowboys 1st down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. He'll go underneath here to Elliott. 5 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game, too. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second and 6. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He'll find a rookie from Oklahoma, CeeDee Lamb. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And the Cowboys are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dalton Schultz, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. Now here's Johnson. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here? To the ground on first down. Here's Madison. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Madison. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Madison. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On the handoff, it's Madison. And he's got this pretty close to a first down at the Cowboys' 23. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Johnson with a completion over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
But he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in 1st downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in a position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a 1st down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now a give to Madison. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. This Cowboy defense looked ready for that 3rd down pass. Brings up 4th. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 11 yards there, 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. On 1st down, Elliott. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. He'll find his receiver. That's Chad Beebe. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Well, the second down throw on target. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Cousins. They'll get this underneath to Madison. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Cousins again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got this down to the 35. 16 yards there. 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another first down. They go play action. Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 12 yards there and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 7 from the 20. To the air again, it's Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll throw again. Cousins. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This is Tony Pollard. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Prescott from the gun. He'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And that's about the easiest decline call you'll ever have right there.
Well, it leads me to one of my pet peeves, and maybe peeves is too strong of a word, but if you're going to jump off sides, finish the play. Make sure the play ends. Don't jump off sides and stop because you see the net result here. If you go ahead and finish the play, you don't give up that type of yardage.
Again, it's Elliott. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Prescott. And this one quickly to Lamb. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Prescott. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Dak going to hand it to Elliott on the option. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. A 10-play drive that time. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken right at the 35. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Throwing. Prescott. Throw left side complete. It's Elliott. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big points.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Following the interception, Cousins toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
This will make it into the end zone. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. They'll start the drive with Elliott, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Connects here with a tight end, Blake Jarwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 11. They go to Elliott again. And he's got some space here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They'll run with Elliott. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Draw play, Elliott. And he's going to be stopped just short of the 1st down marker at the Vikings 14. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense is getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Down near the goal line, things really get physical. You're always anticipating a running play, but when they do throw it, things happen quickly. A little bit of a bang-bang play there that falls incomplete.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Cousins on first down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Cousins to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Desperation time. Cousins on fourth down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Cousins. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Cousins now. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. His throw caught right around the 6. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That one goes for 24 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Throwing, Cousins. Oh, no, lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Very fortunate to get another shot. Here's 2nd and goal. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
3rd and goal for Cousins. And this ball is caught by Irv Smith. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr., his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken the lead. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes, because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, and that's really good strategy, because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
And boy, figure this one out. Leading here in the 4th, and now they're going to try an onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott to the right side. He's got Cooper. It's complete. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
On first down, Elliott. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Zerline now for the PAT. It's up and good to make it 21-17. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And he returns this to the 22. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, here's Cousins. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. We'll get this underneath to Madison. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Going to run with Madison again. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They're going for it. Here's Madison. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Cousins to throw. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Cousins on target there to Johnson. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 25-yard line.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
They'll look to throw. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they'll get this down to the 10. And the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. They'll run with Madison, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. And it's caught. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team, but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Now,
and he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it. And this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's capped off by the late touchdown that puts him out in front here in the final minute of the contest. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will make it into the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. One last shot now for Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Minnesota, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else than their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And they'll have another home date next week as the Carolina Panthers come to town. Meanwhile, for Dallas, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they will be back home next week for a date with Washington. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.